This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I shake hands, I hug people, I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, you can do this. And whether they're women, men, young, old, it's the way I've always been. It's the way I've tried to show I care about them and I'm listening.
We need to talk about creepy Uncle Joe.
Spread your legs, you're going to be frisked. Drop your hands. You say that to somebody in North Dakota, they think it's a frisk. Drop your hands to the side, you know. You're in trouble, right?
We need to talk about creepy Uncle Joe. Well, that's not my invention. That's what the Washington Post labeled him back in 2015. Although written in a weird tongue-in-cheek style, the article cites numerous instances where Joe Biden made women uncomfortable by touching and grabbing them.
Taking a selfie with White Tiger in New York.
I need a hug, kid. Come on. I need a hug. God love you. It's your reputation.
Yeah, 15.
Remember, no serious guys in your 30s.
I like that.
But here's something way creepier than that. The way Uncle Joe behaves around children.
What I like most is getting to see their children.
But we need to talk about this because one Twitter thread alone, posted by activist and commentator Richard Mills, highlighting the subject, has been retweeted nearly 20,000 times. This is going viral. Biden is also signaling that he plans to run for president in 2020. This is probably the most famous example. Biden leans uncomfortably close to a 13-year-old girl, whispers something in her ear, then tries to kiss her as she instinctively jerks away.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, nice to see you guys.
Now, this one actually made the news at the time. They said the 13-year-old girl, Margaret Coons, didn't think what Biden said or did was creepy. Except she didn't say anything. It was her father, Senator Christopher Coons, who claims she said that. I reached out to Margaret Coons to clarify whether or not she thought it was creepy and to ask her what Biden said. I received no response. The official story is that Biden was reassuring the girl that his own daughter was 13 when he was sworn in and not to be nervous about being in front of cameras. Except that in all the years Biden was sworn in as senator, his daughter was never at the age of 13. But I'm sure that that's all completely normal. In this clip, Biden appears to grope the chest area of a little girl. The close-up shows her visibly pull away right as it happens. But I'm sure that's completely normal. Biden seems to have a thing for touching, smelling, and stroking girls' hair, as seen in this clip. But I'm sure that's completely normal. In this clip, Biden strokes the girl's hair before whispering something in her ear. He then asks for a picture with the girl alone.
Can I run with Jess alone?
Senator Jim Risch then says, "Dad's going to stand pretty close."
Dad's gonna stand pretty close.
Biden appears to tell the girl, quote, "If I was young."
By the way, if I was young and I had IQ parties.
But I'm sure that's all completely normal. In this clip, Biden kisses a young girl 3 times as she squirms uncomfortably, while he says, "Don't tell anybody."
Title. He's entitled. This is a long game. That's right, everybody. Don't tell me what.
But I'm sure that's completely normal. In this clip, Biden tells a girl, quote, "No serious guys until you're 31." which is one of his favourite things to say to children.
Lucky man. Lucky man.
He's having fun. Thank you, sir.
No serious guys here, 30 years.
He then poses with the girl for a photo while putting his hand around her midriff. And then whispers something into her ear.
Everybody else is looking forward to
But I'm sure that's completely normal. In this clip, Biden asks another of his favourite questions, how old the child is.
Come on over. Good to see you, Molly. How old are you?
Before weirdly stroking the face of her younger sister.
Grandpa's one of those guys.
That's nice of you to
No, I'm not saying. He knows I do.
The mother seems keen to leave quickly, but I'm sure that's all completely normal. In this clip, Biden again tells a young girl, no dating until you're 30, before putting his hand near her breast.
You remember what I told you last time I saw you? Do you remember what I told you? No, not smile. No date till you're 30. And girls, remember, no dates till you're 30 years old.
But again, I'm sure that's completely normal. In this clip, the young girl catches Biden's attention. He then asks the 6-year-old girl if she's 17.
Beautiful child. How old are you, 17? Oh, 6.
He then begins stroking the girl's face before her mother draws attention to the cameras.
Do you have any
What
other
do you think
family?
about all those cameras?
Biden then strokes the girl's hair again and tells her, you guessed it.
No dates or boys till you're 30 years old.
He then strokes her hair and kisses her again. He then grabs on her face and hair again. But I'm sure that's completely normal. In this clip where Biden is meeting 3 teenage girls, he trots out his favourite line.
3 teenagers.
I want to know if you have a big time.
Oh, I got concertina wire.
All right, good. You need it. Just remember, no serious guys in the car.
That's right.
That's all you gotta remember.
Good advice.
One girl then calls out for her dad.
Okay.
Here we go.
Well, let's get the senator in here.
And appears in a rush to leave the room. But I'm sure that was completely normal. This clip, Biden again asks a girl aged around 8 if she's 15.
How old are you, 15? No.
He then whispers something in their ears once again. The same thing happens again in this clip where he asks an 11-year-old girl if she's 17.
And how old are you, 17? You're 11?
Before the obligatory hair sniffing and whispering. But I'm sure that's completely normal. A Secret Service agent told Cassandra Fairbanks that Biden would, quote, mess with every single woman or teen, and that a Christmas get-together at the VP's house had to be cancelled, quote, because Biden would grope all of our wives and girlfriends' asses. He also said that the service often had to protect female agents from him, and that Biden was prone to parading around the VP residence late at night with no clothes on. I mean, stark, naked, Weinstein-level stuff, said the agent. During one alleged incident in 2009, Biden cupped the breast of a Secret Service agent's girlfriend during a photo, prompting the agent to shove Biden and almost hit him. The agent was subsequently suspended for a week, according to the source. Men would often stand in front of female agents and Navy women or create false pretenses to have them leave the room just to get them away from Biden, according to the agent. When you watch these clips, and considering the current climate, you can begin to understand how Joe Biden earned his nickname.
Joe Biden facing a bit of controversy tonight. Late today, former Democratic candidate for lieutenant governor of Nevada coming forward to say that she had a bit of an uncomfortable encounter with the then vice president back in 2014. Lucy Flores writes in New York Magazine, quote, "I felt him get closer to me from behind. He leaned further in and inhaled my hair. I was mortified," she writes. "He proceeded to plant a big, slow kiss on the back of my head." Now, Bill Russo, a spokesman for Joe Biden, responded with a statement that reads in part, "Neither then nor in the years since did he or the staff with him at the time have any inkling that Ms. Flores had been at any time uncomfortable, nor do they recall what she describes. But Vice President Biden believes that Ms. Flores has every right to share her own recollection and reflections, and that it is a change for the better in our society that she has the opportunity to do so." Joining me now, Chris Stirewalt, Fox News politics editor. Chris, good to see you tonight. Thanks for being here. So, you know, that's not a great moment for the nascent and not yet declared Biden campaign.
Well, and also talk about getting it wrong. Look, the degree to which Joe Biden now obviously misunderstands the political moment in his party should be obvious to everyone. He gave a speech earlier where he was talking about apologizing, but not really apologizing for the treatment of Anita Hill during the Clarence Thomas hearings a generation ago when he was the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and she was horribly treated as she came forward to make her accusation. He came out with a very lame explanation and apology for it, and he got the wrath of feminist activists, liberal Democrats, and others. Now we have another accusation that fits within a pattern for Joe Biden that we have seen throughout his career of overdoing it with physical contact with women, strangers, women he meets, women who are there. There was a teenage girl who was present with her family when her father or relative was being sworn into Congress. We have the story of the Deputy Defense Secretary's wife. We've heard these stories before about women who Joe Biden made feel uncomfortable. Now we have another one that his campaign, or as you say, campaign in waiting, doesn't know better than to say, well, we think it's super for her that gals now have a chance to talk about this stuff, but she didn't say anything at the time, so too bad.
Yeah, and here's what she says about that. "For years, I feared my experience would be dismissed. Biden will be Biden, boys will be boys, but hearing Biden's potential candidacy for president discussed without much talk about his troubling past as it relates to women became too much to keep bottled up any longer." So that's her response. They're going to come back with this, Chris. She tweeted after that campaign event, "Great to be in Nevada with Vice President Biden and Lucy Flores. Don't forget to vote." This is I think she passed this along from Eva Longoria, who was also there on Tuesday, November the 4th.
Look, the moment has changed, and the Democratic Party, you saw what happened with Al Franken. You saw what has gone on as Democrats have gone through this Me Too reckoning and had this discussion, and so is the larger national conversation. Joe Biden is obviously not up to this. He is not ready for this, and I am telling you, this could be a death knell for his potential candidacy. He has not thought through how his dealings with women over the years, including incidents like these, what she is accusing him of is, again, totally in keeping with a pattern of behavior that we've seen in him. If he's got to litigate this now, he better be better at this. He better be ready for a discussion about this.
Yeah, but Chris, he probably says, well, you know, President Trump also had stories that were surrounding him, and he made it.
Yeah, but except for this, Democrats do not want to equivocate on this issue. Again, back to Al Franken. They absolutely 86'd Al Franken. They lit him on fire and dropped him in the bottom of the ocean because they weren't going to have a difficult discussion when it came to Roy Moore from Alabama. They're not going to do it with Donald Trump. I think Joe Biden is in big, big trouble.
Interesting. Chris, thank you. Great to see you.
I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.